What is up, everybody? NoLucksGiven here. Still a little bit under the weather, as you can probably hear in my voice, but we have a new developer update video for Masters of the Arcane, the June 2025 season. So I'm going to give this a look-see and just give short reactions. I'm going to keep this one kind of brief, but going to talk briefly about all of the new cards coming next month to Marvel Snap. Is that Ben Brode Supreme? No clue what's going on right now. All right. So I think this video might be lacking some information again, but I have these incantations all cost one. Lot to unpack here. Haven't even read these yet, so let me do that for a second myself. All right, so we basically have Reality Stone, a one-card Cersei, which is cool. You could use that on the hood pretty effectively. That also means it's good anti-clog too. Oh, and then another anti-clog that also ramps. The fact that there's two pieces of things that interact well with the hood, plus some Reality Stone. I mean, this seems reasonable. Yeah. Oh, interestingly, this will always give Merlin the power, even if Merlin isn't at the presence location. So that's an interesting way to impact multiple locations at once. And similarly, Polymorph, I was thinking you need to play something with smaller power than Merlin. That's definitely not true. At the start of each turn, meaning that like turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, you're going to get all of these, and I'm assuming then you can get some of them multiple times over.
Location or exchange a card for some energy.
Yeah, there goes the hood. 4/7, so a good stat line. On reveal, return all your discarded and destroyed cards to your hand with +3 power. Huh. Wow. That's going to take a second to unpack, because it doesn't work with other discard synergies. Like, if you return something to your hand, you can no longer bring it back with Hela. It's no longer considered a discarded card.
Necromancer. In Marvel Snap, Morgan returns discarded and destroyed cards to your hand with increased power. She can even bring Uncle Ben back.
Sure, +3 power. Are there other cards that want to get... Be cool if there was something that like, oh, no, yeah. No, that doesn't work either. I was thinking Black Cat, but Black Cat would return to your hand from Morgan and then immediately get discarded again. So that doesn't work. I'm having trouble placing this one, to be totally honest. I mean, some type of misery thing, maybe. But even still, that seems sketchy. I might be missing it, but I think this one's a miss for now. Ancient One has, on reveal, add the Tal Mandala to your hand, and the Tal Mandala allows you to copy the text of one of your ongoing cards here onto your other characters here. And I don't have a confirmation on whether or not the Tal Mandala will overwrite the text of current cards at that location. Like, say you have an Iron Man and an Elsa. Well, you Tal Mandala, everything's going to get the Iron Man ability, but will Elsa still have her own ability? That I don't know. One thing this also does give you is you're probably using the Ancient One. You're using the Tal Mandala on the Ancient One's location, probably, because it's just a free body. And I do think that in a typical game, the curve is a little bit awkward because I think ideally with this, like, one of the best case scenarios is use Tau Mandala to get 3 onslaughts, and then you use the final space at that location to play like an Iron Man. Then you also have a Living Tribunal. Obviously, that is all too expensive to make work. Trying to think if there's like some interesting wave curves or something. There's probably some limbo curves that could justify this, but with Merlin running around, I don't think you want to be playing limbo for the next month at all, because Merlin just gives you really realistic odds to find a reality stone before the end of the game. There's also some possible text. I'm just thinking, I'm wondering if there's any interesting implications with Tau Mandala and Moonstone, because you could easily get a really busted ongoing ability onto a 3-cost card. Not that that's impossible otherwise with the Mystique as an option, but just thinking, she does seem a little bit tricky to curve off with in general, though, yeah, with Merlin, we are supposed to be thinking about different potential energy outcomes, too. We might be able to get a bunch of extra energy on different turns, and then, so like on turn 5, you could have access to 7 energy, which would be enough to play a 4-cost card alongside the Tau Mandala. That still doesn't quite cut it.
In Marvel Snap, she adds Tau Mandala to your hand. It's a powerful spell that copies the text of an ongoing card to your other cards in the location.
I don't think we really get an answer in this video.
Some squirrels, so you're pretty much guaranteed a victory. Hey, I made 8 cubes.
How did they... What was the curve that allowed them to play Blue Marvel onto some squirrels? They went turn 1, Squirrel Girl, or Silver Sable. This has 2 squirrels. I don't know how they got 2 squirrels here. Oh, I do? I don't know why they don't have... Wait. Yeah, each Squirrel Girl makes 2 squirrels. Okay. Turn 1, Squirrel Girl. Turn 2, Grandmaster, the Squirrel Girl. Right, all of that checks out. Sure. Yeah, that's actually a pretty nice curve. Turn 3, Ancient One. Turn 4, I don't know, Silver Sable Mystique, just to add an extra power here once it got Blue Marveled. That's a naked Mystique, though. Turn 5, Blue Marvel. Oh, no. This is, they actually didn't do anything on turn 4, which means that there's, I mean, on turn 4, they just played a Silver Sable or something, but they went turn 5, Blue Marvel, turn 6, Mystique, Tau Mandala on Blue Marvel. So they actually played a few more Blue Marvels all on that final turn for a total of 4 Blue Marvels. That is interesting. Yeah, using the Tau Mandala on Blue Marvel is probably one of the better use cases for it with a typical curve, just because you want to use it on the most powerful thing you can, which is going to be a 5-cost ongoing. If you can use that 5-cost ongoing to get that power at multiple locations, that's also pretty good for you.
What?
Check your phone.
Oh my god.
Look at the expiration date.
It's set to 2099. How?
Just a little trick I learned from Nightmare. The villainous master of the Nightmare realm.
On reveal, replace the text of each card in your hand with the text of a random card of the same cost. Yes. Okay. So I did hear about this one. People were talking about it because this plus Sauron make an interesting combo, basically in the same way that Bast and Agent Venom make a pretty good combo. Bast hits everything in your hand, Agent Venom hits everything in your deck. The new Sauron now hits everything in your deck, and then Nightmare gets to hit everything in your hand. So this could be, I mean, imagine hitting a red Guardian. Is that what it's called? No, Red Obsidian. The big red 514, whatever that card's called. Or Star Brand. I'm forgetting some of the names of these. Typhoid Mary, sure. Typhoid Mary, hitting that and turning it into, I don't know, we'll say a Super Scroll, or hitting the 514 and turning that into an Iron Man, and using this as a cool way to remove the drawbacks on your cards seems like a pretty powerful angle, and I think will be a cool thing to do with that. Ebony Ball, removing the play restriction from that and potentially even giving it some upside. Potentially letting it like add the hood to your hand or add a demon to your hand. These are all like I'm thinking of like best case scenarios, but still, I think when you are removing drawbacks from your cards, even if you just go like neutral or get a slightly worse drawback, I don't think you can roll the same one, but you might be able to roll the same one. That's still possible. That seems really cool to me. I wonder if there's implications for this in Arashem as well. Probably not, but it is an interesting way to sort of like refresh your bad hits, potentially. I think this isn't an RSM card specifically because it costs 3 and has -1 power. If it was like a 4 cost card, then maybe it's better with RSM, but you probably want to play, like, because RSM plays a bunch of good 4 cost cards, you probably want to spend your turn 4 playing like a Galacta, for instance, and then this would actually be a turn 5 play alongside another 3 cost card, or a turn 4 play.
When revealed, it magically replaces the text.
Red Skull. Red Skull was the card I was thinking of. Here's all the other cards that I named, though.
Your hand with the text of a random card that has the same cost.
What did they get? They got the destroy card, right? The 3/5. So still a drawback, but still good. Something you could play for.
Well, you're getting it renewed next week anyway.
Oh, imagine Starbrand becomes a Surtur.
I learned that one from the fiery sorceress Clea.
Oh, in Marvel Snap,
I had no clue how many skills there were going to be this season. We are getting a ton of them. I believe Flames of the Faultine is a 1 cost skill. And yeah, that probably matches up with the power level. When this permanently gains power, add a Flames of the Faultine to your hand. Huh. If in hand or in play. Oh, cool. Oh, wow. Okay. So you don't even have to play Clea for it to work. And honestly, it's probably easier if you keep her in hand. The way that you could buff her in play is like Kuhori, which does have some synergy. Because Kuhori could pump her up. Oh, wow. Kuhori pumping her up multiple times, adding multiple flames. And then your next Kuhori is even bigger if you're able to re-trigger that with like an absorbing man or something. So that could actually be a really cool synergy. Other synergies, though, when it's in your hand, are going to be a little bit more consistent. Nakia, Gwenpool, I don't know. Kind of like Clea Kuhori now. Ironheart is cool. Forge is nice. Let's see what else they come up with. Yeah, Nakia.
While Walking Taurus can make the flames burn even hotter.
Oh, finally a use for Joaquin Torres. Wow, it's been a second for that one. And potentially like the hood could work in a deck like I just described. We're kind of also with that. I mean, you saw there was a Luke Cage in their hand. We're building towards sort of an affliction strategy, which means that like all that this does is totally get shut down by Luke Cage, ultimately, which is pretty awkward, but it still seems fun. Okay, yeah, I thought this was going to be a big one. I did not know we were getting another 7 cost card this season, though. So Dormammu has 3 different spells No. Okay, it has one spell. Huh. Okay. It's got a whole different... I'm reading all of this for the first time. This spell costs 0. This spell costs 1. And this spell costs 3. And it is a 7-11. Game start, you start with this in your hand. I don't know... With the fact that this says summon Dormammu, I feel like Dormammu does not start in your deck, but summoning ritual starts in your hand. If so, this is already pretty good because this already allows you to play an 11 card deck. So, I mean, unless I'm not thinking about this correctly, Dormammu just seems like it's America Chavez. That's without even reading. I must be... Let me make sure I have all this right. Let's watch what they have to say.
And the evil ruler of the Dark Realm by playing 3 spells that merge, steal power from, and destroy your other cards. Those
Now there it's
sacrifices are just
here.
a small price to pay to summon the evil lord.
Okay.
To summon the destroy of the Dark Realm by playing 3 spells that merge, steal power from, and destroy your other cards. Those sacrifices are just a small...
All right. We've got a lot to unpack here still. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know if I mentioned this. Did I say at the start of this video that I'm still sick? I mean, you can tell that I'm still sick, right? I took some breaks in like recording this too and trying to make sure I had all the information together. But let's take a look now at Dormammu for what it actually does. First, you have to destroy a card, and then you merge it with Dormammu. So you just have to play some type of destroy effect, and then you can play this. So, assumedly, you'd have to play the destroy effect. Oh, and then you got to destroy 2 more cards here to summon Dormammu. Okay. I'm not sure, and it does say merge, but I'm assuming that Dormammu isn't gaining any other abilities from this. These both seem, I don't know, like, I'm assuming that you have to destroy a card in order to play the summoning ritual. You have to have already destroyed a card. And then in order to use summoning ritual 2, I don't think there's any requirements. I think you can just play this one. It costs 1. It steals some power from each card there. So that's just like a good way to sap your opponent for like 2 power from a different location, so that way you have some cross-lane play. Summoning Ritual 3 costs 3. Destroy 2 of your characters here to summon Dormammu. That seems pretty straightforward. If you aren't able to destroy 2 other characters there, it probably just will fail to summon him. And I feel like Dormammu starts the game in your, like, effectively like in your banished pile. And then you summon him with this. Huh. I mean, if so, that's really powerful.
Season, you can summon the evil ruler of the Dark Realm by playing 3 spells that merge, steal power from, and destroy your other cards. Those sacrifices are just a small price to pay to summon
Yeah,
the evil
we see it summoning him for free. Two new locations coming up. I did also see someone mentioned that there was one other new location teased at some point in this video. Yeah, they actually show this location off in like almost every clip. After turn 4, cards on the winning side here gain +1 power. I imagine maybe we'll see this in like a future season, but if they're not bringing it up right here, then I think these are the only two new locations for this season. We have Camelot. After turn 5, set all cards here to 5 power. Pretty good for ongoing cards. I mean, or you just play another card there on turn 6, but kind of like a Nidavellir-esque location, going to reward you for just getting some cards there early. It's kind of like a Stark Tower, too, but one that plays certainly a lot differently with some cards compared to some others. After this turn, add a 0 power copy of a card from your hand here. Again, ongoing though, on reveal cards would also work. Yeah, a lot of different ways I think to abuse Astral Plane. We are getting high voltage overdrive. This looks really cool. I love Hearthstone Battlegrounds anomalies and ways that just like make each individual game different. I am probably one of the biggest supporters in Marvel Snap of featured hot locations because I think that they provide an interesting dynamic change up to the game that make you think about different things to build around. This seems like you might not know what you're queuing into when you select your deck. So ultimately, I think that this is just going to keep this game mode wackier and sillier and potentially more replayable than it was before. I think that a lot of people said that they liked high voltage mode, but then they basically just like completed their quests and stopped playing it. And this will give you an interesting reason to hop back in and just try to have fun playing the game. Take a look at that now. It said, Ben says like when 5 things charge up. So I don't exactly know what that means. I don't know if we're still playing with the random amounts of energy on each turn, but you can see down here playing looks like to be 3 out of 4. High voltage mode was typically a 3-turn game mode in the past, so maybe the high voltage part is just turn 4. I don't exactly know how you complete these 5 different parts, but once you do, then you get an overdrive effect, which is either repeat on reveals or something absolutely crazy like chimichangas. Oh, I see. There's charged cards. So both players can play these charged cards to contribute to the overdrive. So you do have some ability to control that as well. If you don't like the overdrive effect, you could not play your overcharged cards and potentially delay that a little bit further. Potentially not even making it happen at all. So that is an interesting dynamic.
Check it out.
There we see it looks like these 3 cards, well, it kind of looks like they were all overcharged, to be honest. Hard to tell.
Thank you for checking out this.
There we go. It seems like that might be it. However, I do believe I'm allowed to talk about the new cards coming to Seasonal Series 4 packs at the start of the new season. I don't think I'm allowed to talk yet about the reward cards from the bonus game mode coming this season, but I will talk about both of these two here. We have Nicholas Scratch and Jennifer Kale, and the first of which, Nicholas Scratch, is a 1/2, and says after you play a skill, +1 power. And I initially read that before seeing all of these other cards coming out. It was like, okay, that's not that good. But, I mean, how many new cards do we have with skills coming out? I mean, Merlin gets a skill every single turn. So, at the very least, if you're playing all of your Merlin skills, this will have... So you play a Merlin skill on turns 3, 4, 5, and 6. And this is a 1/6. That's pretty good. Also... if you are able to generate a bunch of skills from Clea, that seems pretty cool. I don't think it's going to be as useful with Dormammu, but I'm also just a little bit confused on Dormammu still because it seems just like a busted card that you'll play in every deck. And if that's the case, then sure, it's another bonus skill on Nicholas Scratch and another scratch on that head post. Seems very good to me. Jennifer Kale is a ramp card for 2, a 2/3 with activate. Next turn, you get +1 energy. So this can't be used to get out an early Mr. Negative or an early Doom 2099 or an early Galacta. 3 4-cost cards that all benefit from having some additional time in play. It also cannot help you play your... No, I'm sorry. It can help you... Yeah, you can activate it on turn 3, and then on turn 4, play a 5-cost card a little bit cheaper. So that is something that you can do, or you could activate her on turn 4 so that you could play turn 6, 6-cost card on turn 5. And I think that that versatility is actually really good in like a classic ramp shell. Now, how good is a classic ramp shell in Marvel Snap? That is not something that we have seen in a long time, but I'm talking a deck that would have access to usually Electro and then also Wave is what you would play like 2 years ago, really. And with both of those, you would either be able to go Wave into 6/5/6, or you would be able to go... you would be able to go Electro into 5/6/6. Hopefully all of that made sense. We're getting at the end of the video here, so I'm falling apart a little bit. But Jennifer Kale does not allow you to do that. She does not allow you to go 6/5/6 or 5/6/6. What she does allow you to do is go 5/5/6, which is certainly not as good, but it could still be playable. It could allow you to, like, blink Jennifer Kale, for instance. That could be a pretty reasonable turn 4 play after playing this on turn 2, and either nothing or something that you don't mind blinking away on turn 3. So definitely some options there. I think that ramp cards tend to be pretty good, and I think that she's flexible enough. So she either allows you to go 5/5/6 or 4/6/6, which could also be good. You could set up for Iron Lad and Jubilee into a pair of 6-cost cards. Is that what you want to be doing right now in Marvel Snap? Exactly. I'm not convinced, but I think more tools to potentially do this could benefit ramp strategies. For now, I think that that's all I am going to talk about. And if there's other things that I find out I'm allowed to talk about, or when those other things become public, then we'll talk about those too. Normally, I do a little bit more of a breakdown. I'm still pretty sick, but just wanted to talk about these new cards a little bit here. And yeah, that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.